One of the largest class action settlements in U.S. history is moving forward, potentially impacting millions of Americans who have used Roundup or other weed killers. Here to break down what it means and why it matters, even for those who feel perfectly healthy, let's welcome Christopher A. Seeger. Welcome, Chris. How you doing this morning?
I'm great. Thank you. Thank you for this time. I appreciate it very much.
Well, I want to learn more here. I mean, the cover of course, the settlement covers up to 21 years. How is it designed to protect people who may be feeling healthy? Maybe they won't even get sick until much later.
That's exactly why we do these interviews, and we talk about the settlement, and we send notices out to people, because people who, someone who might have handled Roundup thinking it was perfectly safe 2-3 years ago may feel great today, and they hear about a settlement and they ignore it. And we don't want them to do that. We want people who know that they've handled or applied Roundup and were exposed to it, could get sick, God forbid, down the road 10-15 years from now. And that's why we've designed a program that extends 21 years. It's funded by up to $7.25 billion. And we have a website that we really want to drive people to so they can go on it and learn everything they need to learn, which is weedkillerclass.com. Now, one last point. For those people who've handled it years ago and are sick today with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, this settlement is there for you now. And for the people who may get sick down the road, it'll be there for you in the future.
Well, who does qualify? And why should everyday consumers who use weed killer at home may be included as well?
Because glyphosate is a very potent cancer-causing ingredient, and it doesn't take much to be to be subject to that risk. Somebody could get a bottle of it, a relatively small bottle of it, use it for the summer, and that's enough for them to be exposed to the dangers and the opportunity to get non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So residential users may be exposed to a lot less than landscapers or agricultural users, but are still put at risk. Now, for the agricultural users and landscapers, they are exposed to a lot more, and their risk of developing non-Hodgkin's lymphoma is greater. There is a dose-response relationship between glyphosate and cancer. So the safest thing to do is to get people out of the court system into a settlement like this, where they don't have to, they don't have to prove causation. They don't have to go through a judge. They don't have to go through a jury. They don't have to put their private information at risk. If they've been exposed, they've applied it, handled it, and they've diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, they'll be eligible for compensation. And they need to go on the website to see that.
Yeah, I'm curious, what factors then, since you've got to have that diagnosis, of course, what factors would make someone eligible for, say, a higher payment under this settlement than some of the lower payments that maybe are already been established?
Yeah, there are a few things. I mean, age is important, because the older somebody gets, the higher the chance of developing non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, just based upon the aging process, goes up. So the compensation would go down somewhat for older, over 70, for example. For younger folks, the amount that they've been exposed to, how they were exposed to it, what type of cancer they have. So non-Hodgkin's lymphoma isn't one cancer. It could be 30 different types of subsets of lymphoma that fit within that. And if you have a very aggressive lymphoma, you would be eligible for more compensation than somebody who has what we call indolent or not that aggressive, which wouldn't require that much medical intervention.
Interesting. I did not know there was that many different types. Okay, well, we are out of time. We're, of course, sharing that website. Is that the best place to go for someone to find out about their eligibility and legal rights?
That is the best place to go. There's a phone number, 888-403-8201. But if you don't remember that, go to the website.
There you go, below you on the screen. Thank you so much, Chris. We really appreciate you joining us to talk about this important info.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.